the dramedy. Oh, yeah, I'll get down here. Oh.
How you doing?
Okay. There we go.
Okay. Eyeballs, skeletons, witches, black cats, ghosts, and vampires. What are you thinking? A Halloween party? No, this is just the American interpretation of Halloween today. But how did Halloween develop? First, we'll get to that in a little bit. Let me tell you that I've done extensive research on this project, as well as it has been my favorite holiday since I was a kid. Today, you will go home hopefully learning something about Halloween. First, we'll start with Halloween origins, followed by today's traditions, and finally superstitions. 2,000 years ago, the ancient Celts lived in an area that is now England, France, and Ireland. They celebrated their holiday of the Samhain on the night of October 31st. They believed that the veil between worlds came down on this night and ghosts were allowed to return to Earth. And this was their new year. So, in order for the darkness and the winter that came ahead, they hoped to appease the gods and have a great winter. So they had a great bonfire where they dressed up in animal skin costumes and gave animal sacrifices as well as crops to the gods to help appease them. The Celtic priests, the Druids, they hoped to tell everyone's fortunes at the celebration because as the world came down, they believed that the magical vibrations were stronger and they could tell everyone's fortunes on this night. In 43 AD, the Romans conquered the Celtic land and mixed their traditions together. The Romans had 2 days to celebrate. Their first day, Feralia, the date is unknown, where they celebrated their Day of the Dead, and their second day where they honored the goddess Pomona, who was the goddess of fruit and agriculture, whose symbol was the apple. And when they mixed with the Celts, it was believed that that's how bowing for apples came about, the way that they both agreed to celebrate together. According to HistoryChannel.com, copyright 2008, in the 800s, Christianity spread throughout Europe, and Pope Boniface IV wanted a church-sanctioned holiday to celebrate the saints and the martyrs, instead of the pagan holiday, because they disliked the pagans. They created All Saints' Day, November 1st, with All Hallows' Eve being October 31st, or Halloween. They celebrated much like the Celts, who they disapproved of, with bonfires and dressing up like angels and devils and sacrificing things to the gods. In 1846, there was a great Irish potato famine, and many Irish came to America because they were poor and could not find food. When they came here, they went knocking door to door, begging for food and money, and this is how trick-or-treating got started. They were afraid that when they left their houses on Halloween night, that the ghosts would recognize them and haunt them, so they wore masks in order to disguise the ghosts and not be followed. They left pumpkins that were carved with scary faces and lights on their doorsteps to scare away the ghosts and protect their houses. And their traditions ended up mixing with the European traditions, making Halloween as we know today. In the 1920s, the Halloween started being celebrated more and more by adults and spreading throughout America until it became commercialized today. Now that we know about the ancient traditions of Halloween, let's talk about today's traditions. Kids today think of Halloween as dressing up in costumes, going trick-or-treating, getting free candy, and creating a little mischief with eggs and toilet paper. But according to Silver Ravenwolf, author of Halloween, copyright 2000, today's symbols of Halloween are pumpkins, ghosts, vampires, trick-or-treating, skeletons, scarecrows, and witches. But do the kids today know that vampires were once believed just to be people who were prematurely buried and were not dead all the way, or that scarecrows were not meant to originally scare away the crows, but were meant to protect and fertilize the crops? No, they just want to have fun, which is all well and good. And the traditional colors of Halloween, orange symbolizing agriculture, pumpkins, and the ancient bonfires of the Celts, and black meaning death are traditional colors. Today, $6.9 million are annually spent on Halloween throughout America, and it is the second largest commercialized holiday. We have discussed today's traditions as well as the origins. Now we're going to discuss some superstitions. Two non-Halloween superstitions that most know about are if you spill salt, throw it over your right shoulder to bring good luck, or if you break a mirror, that's 7 years of bad luck. According to Garina Dunwick, author of Witch's Halloween, copyright 2007, a good tradition for Halloween night is if you peel an apple, fill your heart with love, close your eyes, blow on the peel, and drop it into a bucket of water, it is said to spell out your true love's first initial. And that all magical vibrations are heightened on this night. Anything is possible. Some bad traditions that Garina stated were that if you look into a mirror from candlelight on Halloween night, you have said that you will see the devil looking back at you. And that if a person bleeds on this night, they will not be alive by the next Halloween. And black cats is said to not cross paths with them. The ancient Celts believed that witches turned themselves into black cats to avoid detection, so they were scared of these creatures. Superstitions may not be true, but most people think twice on Halloween and Friday the 13th. Now that I've covered origins, traditions, and superstitions, let's not forget the importance of Halloween today, as the ancient Celts regarded it as a revered holiday. But remember to have fun and hopefully teach our kids something new to pass on for further traditions. Any questions?
Maybe you said it. Where'd they get the name Halloween?
From the Christianity, from Pope Boniface IV.
Does it mean anything? The name? No. I'm done. Thanks.
Where's the Headless Horseman thing come from? I know,
And
Halloween they always talk about that. Did you
we
find
had to do
anything else about
reliable
that?
sources, not like folklore, and on the reliable sources they never mentioned that.
Okay, I was just curious.
Do any other cultures besides the Celtics and Americans celebrate a version of Halloween?
Well, the Mexicans have their Day of the Dead where they dress the skulls up of their dead and put them on the mantle and believe that the souls come back in the skulls on certain nights.
Nice.
And Romans, they celebrate, and then the Christians and the Celts.
Just press stop.